Hi, and welcome back to the Positive Prepper. So I want everybody to take a breath, calm down. We know what's happening in Israel right now. We know about the attack. We know that they took a lot of Israeli prisoners. They targeted women and children and grandmothers. There's a couple things that I want you to keep in mind. And no, I'm not driving, I am the passenger. First of all, why is this different than Russia going after Ukraine? Well, there's two big differences. So Ukraine, their president, Zelensky, is a Nazi Jew. And he was killing his own people who were considering themselves more Russian than Ukrainian. And so he was going after them. And Russia basically said enough's enough, and they want to go back after the land that they had. The attack from Hamas in Israel is a religious war. It is Islam going after the Jewish population. Now, for those of you that don't know the environment of Israel, if you will, they have allowed Islam, Christians, and Jews to all peacefully have a place to come and worship. But that's not what they want anymore. Iran and Palestine would much rather have the Jews eradicated so that they can take over Israel. Now, what we need to be looking for, so that's why it's different, because it's freedom of religion in Israel versus what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. We already have military in the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz because Iran was capturing civilian transport ships, and so the United States didn't like that. The problem with all of this is, if you look at what the current administration, FJB, just did for Iran, they released $6 billion to Iran, right? In order to release that one, so they released the $6 billion to release this hostage that Iran had. Basically, Iran wants Israel just wiped off the map completely. But what has to happen is if Israel does defend itself and it goes after Palestine and Hamas the way that we think they probably will, Iran is not only going to have to strike Israel, but they're going to have to strike the United States at the same time. There's a lot of countries right now that are calling for, just stop, everybody breathe, take a breath, let's see how we can bring some stability back to the region. We may be beyond that because we right now have a commander-in-chief that, although his words say that we're going to stand behind Israel, if they don't do the same thing that they've been doing for Ukraine, then we know what side he's on. They have U.S. weaponry in Israel, but the United States has to offer that to Israel. They can't just go in and use it, right? So it's going to be interesting in the next couple of days to see what happens. But for right now, I want everybody to breathe. I went on some different prepping channels and listening to the news, and I understand the fear and the don't know,
text message
angst, I guess, from the Israeli people here in the United States, because we've seen this before. And I know that in like New York City, where they have a very large Israeli presence, they are protecting the temples to make sure that there's no attacks on the Israeli religious buildings and groups. And I think that's really a good thing, and my heart goes out to all of the Israelis right now and all of the Jewish people. But we all have to take a breath. We cannot panic. Okay, we cannot be fearful. We need to be aware and pay attention. But let's see what happens in the next couple days. If this escalates, it very well could end up being a world war. But we don't know what path this is on. It's unsettling, absolutely. But it's not a time to panic. It's not a time to beat the war drums and go code red yet. It's a time to really be aware, not what the administration says, but actually how they physically respond to it. That's what we need to pay attention to. So I just wanted to come on here. I'm going to come on here again tomorrow once we know a little bit more. But I just wanted to kind of be that calming, reassuring person that says, don't panic. Let's see where all this leads. And pray for the people of Israel. They are the people that I would absolutely be supporting right now. So stay safe, stay aware, and God bless.